All right, first and foremost, I'd like to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Call Halal Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rakak Wadash. All right, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to you brothers pushing his word in truth and in sincerity. All right, just bringing out more information, okay, pursuant to the agenda of Esau Edom. All right, this is the road to the MOTB, and certain steps have to be taken, gradual steps, in order for this man to attempt to perform his enterprise, which we know according to the scriptures the Most High is going to disappoint him. All right, he's going to cast him down from his imagination, speaking against Esau Edom. All right, we speak against the wicked powers of the left-hand side, created of our God, the living God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, who is the supreme power of the earth. And all the gods under that supreme power we come in the name of as prophets. All right, their names are going to be taken out of the earth when the Lord brings forth his judgment. All right, now before I go into it, let me go into a quote, because this video we're going to go into an article. I'm going to bring out a little bit of information, and if scriptures come to mind, I'll bring out a few scriptures. I don't want to make the video too long, but it says, if the American people ever allow private banks to control the issue of their currency, first by inflation, then by deflation, the banks and corporations that will grow up around them will deprive the people of all property until their children wake up homeless on the continent their fathers conquered. Now, you Edomites, all right, you have done wickedness to your own brethren, all right? So how much more so the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans? The elites, okay, the elite international banking families have created central banks, all right? And through these central banks, they have transferred the wealth of the ordinary citizen, all right? And his labor, okay, is not adequate for his living under these current circumstances, all right? And therefore, you're going to have riots. You're going to have a transfer, okay, of your system, all right? Because Esau Edom, on his agenda, he wants to put central bank digital currency in motion, all right, where it could be tracked, where it could be, where you don't have no choice. The user doesn't have choice of where he wants to put him or her wants to put their currency, or move it to, what they want to invest in, what they want to do. And it's tracked, all right? It's oversaw by a central entity, all right? No more privacy, all right? And this is what's happening. Now you have people, since the central bank, which is the Federal Reserve, have transferred the wealth since 1913, the famous meeting on Jekyll Island, and then Woodrow Wilson signed the Federal Reserve Banking Act into legislation. All right, there has been a transfer of wealth, and now we're in the time of a CBDC system, all right, where deposits will be tokenized. All right, there's been talks of that. If you have $1,000 in the bank, all right, you can't get a currency. You have to deal on a digital ledger, all right, which is controlled by a central bank entity, which is outside of the federal government, all right, which is defrauding the people, all right. It says, I'll read it again. It says, if the American people ever allow private bank. Now, this is a quote from Thomas Jefferson. All right. If the American people ever allow private banks to control the issue of their currency, which they have done, first by inflation, then by deflation, which means you're taking money, printing money, putting it into circulation, all right, devaluing it, where it costs more for certain goods and services. Then on top of that, they're adding taxation on already the inflation, all right, because the monetary system is controlled, all right, by the private banks, which the federal government and these different state governments borrow from, all right. So in order for them to profit, they have to purchase, you know, different goods and services, which in turn, that's taxpayer money, all right. And that a lot of times when you buy, when government is buying a lot of different resources, it'll drive up the price, you know, for the average citizen. But you have competition in the market for resources, which drives up the price, which drives up the prices. All right. Now it says the banks and corporations that will grow up around them, like Walmart, all right, Amazon, all right, you have General Mills. These are companies where you buy your foods from. General Mills, Kellogg's, Procter and Gamble, okay? It says will deprive the people of all property until their children wake up homeless on the continent their fathers conquered. So you got a lot of people that are living in their cars, all right, in these times. And what he says is actually true. We're living in these times now. Now it says new report. This is from blacklistednews.com. It says new report, over 98% of world central banks gearing up for a new system of programmable, trackable digital cash, and 24 nations will have live CBDCs by 2030. All right, they have a Agenda 2030, which they publish their plans of what they want and how they want to conduct their society by Agenda 2030. I mean, by the year 2030. Okay. It says Leo Holman, he wrote this. This is the source. You see Cashless Society. Then you see Google Pay. You see Apple Pay. You see credit cards. You see how the transition has been. You had a credit card. All right. It went from your credit card. Then it went to your phone. You could use Google Pay. You had PayPal, which was digital transfer, Cash App. Okay. We're in the time of great change. All right. It says all this despite almost zero coverage in the mainstream corporate media to date. You don't hear about this change that's taking place. You hear small tidbits on mainstream media to push their agenda, but you don't hear that this agenda that they're pushing, once they integrate all of these central banks through the CBDC system, all right, it's going to become one bank. All right, which that's where you have the MOTB. It comes into play. All right. It says the era of cash is nearing its end, and with it will come the end of privacy. The World Economic Forum claims in a new report that 98% of the world's central banks have agreed to implement the globalist long-awaited dream of a cashless society. All right. Most central banks, such as the U.S. Federal Reserve, are quasi-government institutions owned privately by billionaire bankers. See, there you go. It says, and they will call this a conspiracy theory. All right, but no, this is a fact. Somebody has to own the central banking system. All right, this is part of the establishment. All right, a matrix of corporate government institutions. All right, that are ordered by billionaire bankers. All right, trillionaire bankers. All right, from generation to generation, okay, have gradually cornered the market, cornered the banking system. All right, and now are able to bring everything together all right, to push their agenda. It says, and the WEF, which is the World Economic Forum, is not the first to reveal the plans of the globalist elite, which have been preparing, all right, for years to eliminate paper fiat currencies. But their latest indicator, the grand plan, is now very close to being realized, perhaps just awaiting a triggering event, a black swan event of some type before making the switch to digital cash. All right. So this is a article. Okay, I'm not going to go into this whole article. You can go to blacklistednews.com. All right, but this is what they're doing. All right, they're creating the system, a new system. All right, which they have already have it under works, because they have to push that agenda. All right, we're going to go into it. They have to fulfill, all right, these scriptures. Let me get this real quick. All right, because I mean these Israelite groups that are not teaching this. All right, what are you going to do when that black swan event happens? All right, just like the Kobe with the jump shot, you know, code word for the CV-19. When that happened, what were y'all doing? All right, people complied. All right, people waited in lines to go into stores. All right, there was shortages, and people would have did whatever the government told them to do to get certain comforts, and it's no different in the times that we're coming into. All right, Revelations 13:16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. All right, now I wanted to go here, because it says, and he causeth all. All right. It's not working. So and he causeth all to make. All right, it says to make, to be the authors of the cause. All right, he's the author of the cause for this change that's about to take place. All right, to make ready, to prepare, and that's what he's doing. He's preparing, all right, to produce, bear, shoot forth. It says to acquire, to provide a thing for oneself, to make a thing out of something, render one anything. All right, he's going to subject you to take a mark in your right hand or in your forehead. All right, this has to be fulfilled. All right, that word for mark is charagma. All right, when you go into the word charagma, all right, because the central bank's digital currency, all right, is what's gonna, is the foundation, okay, I would say, of bringing forth this charagma, a stamp, an imprint, a mark. All right, so these different countries, all right, a confederacy, all right, against Israel, all right, and they're on board. All right, these nations are all together, all right, with one consent under Esau, Edom. All right, and one of these, the objective of this MOTB, all right, is to number the children of Israel and have them in complete subjection. All right, but we know and we give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua, for our Lord Yahushua, who is going to deliver the hopeful elect, okay, that strive, like the scriptures say, strive for the truth unto death. All right, and the Lord shall fight for thee. All right, and him that feareth the Lord, all right, in his death he shall have favor. All right, but I'm in the video right here, call Lord Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Quadash, all praises to the Most High. In the name of his Son, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to you brothers pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Until the next video, shalom.